Like you've gotten the calling, and I appreciated hearing your views of yourself. It has to be that way. I mean, one can't just simply decide to be a painter. One almost has to find out that they're going to be painters, and it becomes a fundamental moving force in their lives. And hello, you there? Yep. This is an old machine, and I don't know if it's working right. So in a way, it is almost religious in that you do it out of necessity. And one of the problems with American art schools today and university art departments, it's pretty much as the way you said it, and that was that you walk in and everybody's doing their thing. As a consequence, nothing is being done. One of the problems with, I think, a democracy is that everyone can dress up and look like the thing that they want to do, and ranging anywhere from being an artist to the great kind of race drivers or the Grand Tour, bicyclists. They all look very convincing, but when it gets down to really seeing what they can do, there isn't very much of anything going on in our country now because of everybody wanting to be something that they can't be. And it's always been a minority, no matter how you look at it. And that's a minority for almost anything that represents quality. If one wants to be a great physicist, they simply can't do it because they wish to be. They have to be prepared to do it, and there has to be this need. So that's about where that is. I think I've got part of my problem here in this machine. Where am I? So that's part of our problem today. Everybody wants to be either rich as Rockefeller, or they want to be airplane pilots, artists, poets, whatever. And as a consequence, we don't have very much of anything. And I think it's sad. The whole commercial aspect of art has gone down the tube, but it too came out of that kind of mentality, and that is everybody felt that they could be art dealers and tell everyone else what great art really is and what they should buy. And as a result, not much happened. A lot of people bought a lot of junk. And certainly the Van Goghs are worth $70 million and worth it. So that's part of it. So, but if you want to be an artist, there are no schools. I mean, you realize by going to Indonesia, that no one gave you a school for that. And as you're being beckoned by the art muse, and you're a god, and I believe all that, your God will lead you. Your muse will lead you to where you have to go. So what does that mean? It's just a waste of time, a kind of overindulgent group of people. And but so is Beaux-Arts. The only schools I know about really are maybe the Philadelphia Academy. That would be a good place to go. University of Iowa, possibly Indiana, University of Indiana, Bloomington. But maybe even the Art Students League in New York City, or the Art Studio in New York City, possibly. But the school really lies within you. You could not go to school and teach yourself what you need, just simply out of the desire to do what you want to do. So I can't think of a better way of doing it. Realize that no one's going to give you what you need. You'll have to find what you need for yourself and find a way to do it. And that's the reality of all of that. And I wish it could be more helpful, but yeah, I think you have to be in an interesting place. You have to be driven by what you wish to do. And that's the reason. And that's where all art, any art, or anything that's of any value, credibility emanates from the person that makes it, and the credibility within that person. So you have to believe what you want. Now, you're a talented young woman, and it sounds like you're forgetting about pizzas and all the rest of that, and riding bikes and boyfriends right now. And so what you have to do is go on your journey. And you have to follow your instincts and what you seek. If not, you'll find something else that will be valuable. I've been talking to my students about Joseph Campbell. And he did several tapes, he's written several books on the power of myth. Power of the myth. There are some video cassette tapes on the power of the myth, and worth seeing because it does deal with that inner self, that one motivating thing that's within you, or within culture, within society or civilization, that communicates ideas. He too believes in a spirit and a God and a center. So that might be something to tap into along with other philosophers. I can't really give you any more names than that right now. But I found him to be very helpful because he seemed to relate pretty much to the way I think in terms of my own work. So set up, one can go to New York, or you can be in New Hampshire and set up a studio and start to study. And you could go to Iowa or Illinois, or Iowa or Indiana, and once there, realize that classical dialogue is not what you really need, that a different dialogue is what you need. So I leave all of that up to you, but as Joseph Campbell said, you trust your inner self, that inner voice that tells you the difference between right and wrong. And he speaks about bliss and this seeking of one's own bliss as the state that where we all belong and where we communicate best. And bliss can mean many things. It can mean one's engagement in ideas, or in one's engagement in their work. It could be in one's engagement in having children, one's engagement in being a rock breaker. On the other hand, for all good writers and painters, it's that place that is timeless and generates all the enthusiasm that you want and about your ideas. So seeking one's bliss is something that Joseph Campbell's about, along with faith and that inner spirit, the intuition, the inner voice that tells you about things. So that's all I can say. I have no one else to refer you to. Yeah, maybe you had a mystic experience in in Indonesia. You have to be very selfish if you want to be a painter, and so you have to measure yourself and how much you give of yourself. But one thing is that you yourself know that you have to, what you have to do, and you have to pursue it. No one asks you to be a painter. You are a painter because you need that. So that's what being a painter is about. To get up in the morning and go to the studio instead of going to go for a bicycle ride is the choices that you make. What else? That's it. Yes, we lost our old friend, Zoot, my dog. He looked so terrible, so sad. Laid out that way with his Italian pointed shoes pointing up and his Italian sport coat. But it made me happy that I could give him some happiness in his life. And now I have another friend. It's a much different friend. He's very big. He's a Rottweiler. He's a German. And he doesn't deal with any fancy clothes or any of that business. He likes it rough and tough. He weighs about 132 pounds. He likes to eat small dogs, small cats, dogs, small monkeys, anything that's alive and squirming around. He likes to talk to them, and he's a very wonderful, strong friend now. But he certainly helped me forget my good friend Zoot. So poor Zoot. I do miss him, but I sure don't miss all of his exotic kind of demands of me. So anyway, Max and I just talk about normal things, about, well, what time are we going to have lunch, so that he can eat half of my sandwich, and do I have any dog biscuits? Don't give me a bath. Just fundamental things. And he does criticize my paintings because he's at the studio with me all the time. And in fact, all of the paintings that I've been doing lately are really Max's paintings. It's a reincarnation of Max Beckmann, really. So anyway, I can't tell you much more. I'm pleased where you are. Sounds like a good place. But now you're thrown back onto yourself. Don't get too mysterious. Just look at this thing far more practically, in that you have to go and work and train yourself now. If you're receiving this gift, then be worthy of that gift. And the demands are very simple. That is, that you use yourself for it, and you work and have something to say. Those are the only artists that are going to have any identity in the next 50 years, I think, that come out of this period. And that's those artists, male or female or in between or whatever, those artists that have something to give. And maybe that's why the gift comes, because really it has little to do with receiving any money in terms of this. You do get money, but on the other hand, the issue is, what do you want to give? What is important? Those are important issues now. Okay, so if you're moved by that, and you have this little muse now coaxing you and watching after you, don't abuse it. It's a very rare and important gift that you must use and grow on. So think about that. If you're special, then a lot is going to be expected of you. So anyway, I hope everything goes well, and if you come by this way in September or before we go, I'd be happy to see you. Yes, to keep your feet on the ground. But you are the school now. Although Indiana, Iowa, Art Students League possibly, Studio Art School or Art Studio School in New York might help. Individuals might help. But you are fundamentally the person now, and what you like and what you want to do and how you're going to find it. And you will teach yourself to paint. And we just got back from Cape Cod, where we were there for 2 weeks. And I was reminded of all this because that's Hopper land, and all the wonderful sights that I saw there that were his subjects. Those lonely, wonderful Victorian houses in the dunes, and lighthouses, and gas stations. And I went out to his studio in the dunes. Very touching. Almost, an expression of, again, a religious faith. And certainly he defined it very, very clearly, what he was about and what he wanted to do. So, if you need any real teaching, go to the Modern Museum in New York, or go to the Fogg Museum in New York, and Cambridge, and see the Max Beckmanns, and see the Van Goghs, and see the Edward Hoppers. Those paintings that really have credibility. And if that's what you choose, then you must set yourself then to work. And don't expect it to come to you. The muse expects you to seek it out and teach yourself. Have a good summer, and maybe we'll see you.